Oh boy, oh boy. How are we, lads? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Nick from Australia, and welcome to the State of Origin Game 2 review and reaction. Hope everyone is doing well. What a game. What a game that was. Queensland holding on to beat New South Wales 26-24. If you guys are brand new around here, I would really appreciate it if you can go ahead and like the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're a regular viewer, thank you very much for tuning in. As always, I appreciate it. It means a lot. That was very disappointing as a New South Wales supporter. That first half was bad, and then the second half we came back and we nearly pulled a Queensland on Queensland, but it wasn't to be. And now we are going to get an absolute blockbuster Game 3 at a core stadium in a couple of weeks, the decider. And as disappointing as it is for New South Wales, we probably didn't deserve it, if I'm being completely honest. Just look forward to the decider on July 9th. Of course, stadium, it'll probably be a sellout. It's going to be nuts, to say the least. Now, I'll get to the live chat in a moment. Before I go any further, I know a lot of people on social media are blowing up about the referees, Ashley Klein, about, all the penalties that Queensland got. I think it was 10-0 at one point, the penalty count. I think it got back to 10-2, maybe 10-3 from memory. Here's the thing. A lot of those penalties were just on the back of poor discipline from New South Wales. And I think at the end of the day, New South Wales did not play well enough to win. And considering we gave up a 26-6 lead to Queensland, we probably didn't deserve to win the game. So I'm not going to blame referees. I'm not going to say New South Wales were robbed. I think the first half was just the bad discipline and everything else. That was the problem. And I think Game 3 will be a lot different to what this game was. Like, you have a look at it. Game 1. Game 1 was different to Game 2. Everyone just thought it'd be easy in Game 2. And you know what? I have to admit that I was wrong on some of the coaching selections from Billy Slater. I was very, I questioned a lot of their decisions, the whole Trent Liero experiment, the whole Cherry Evans dropping was a very big call from Billy Slater. Robert Toyer, I had a lot of question marks. Kurt Capewell, all of them stood up and played a pretty good game. So, pretty insane. Now, Cameron Munster got the man of the match on the Channel 9 thing, the player of the game, whatever. But I think that's fair enough. Munster deserved that. He was pretty incredible. We will go through the player ratings. I will give you guys my opinion on each player on a scale of 1 to 10. So make sure you stay tuned. I want to acknowledge the live chat before we get into the game. Hello to everyone watching. We've got about 40 people in the live chat. We've got a nice crowd here. Hello, everyone. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Hello to Heather. Hello to Hosea. Luke, Melbourne Storm fan. Who else we got in the chat? It's popping off here. Bosky. SS Storm fan, the greatest. I'll try and get to as many of you as I can. Ethan Fisher, Lockie, Mustard Cat, Jason Reader, if I haven't mentioned you already, I'm not sure if I did. Josh Sami, everyone else that's tuning in. Hope you are all doing well, man. Thank you all for tuning in. All right. So, not going to go through every detail of the game, but obviously Queensland started the game off brilliantly, man. Actually, no, New South Wales started better. Tiger got that first try. And then New South Wales just sort of, I fell apart. Hamiso got a double. and then Munster got one, and then Kurt Capel got one right before half time. It was 26-6 at half time. And I thought to myself, New South Wales are way off the mark here. There was an injury complaint from Cleary. I think it might have been a cork thigh. He couldn't even kick a ball. He was struggling, but he was. I think he might have had a few injections, which would have obviously kept him going with the adrenaline and whatnot. So Cleary was playing injured, but he didn't do himself any favors, man. He didn't have a great game, Cleary, and I will get more into the halves very soon. But first half, biggest problem was discipline. It was discipline. It was completion rate. It was wet weather footy, but the completion rate was just disgraceful, to be honest. It really was. Discipline, completion rate. And I don't know if you guys felt this, but it felt like New South Wales kept wanting to just start a fight with Queensland. I don't know what it was. Maybe Tino got under their skin, and Tino was really pushing boundaries. Maybe Tino got under the New South Wales skin, which led to a few penalties and stuff. And I don't know, man. It was disappointing the way we started that whole game, man. We had a good first 10 minutes, and then the remaining 30 minutes of the first half, man, from the 10th minute to the 40th minute, it was all Queensland. They were dominating the game. So we get to the second half, and New South Wales needed to start well, and they did. Brian Toto went over pretty early in the second half, got it back 26-10, and then Stephen Crichton went over, and it was game on, man. 26-14 down, still about 22 minutes to go. Plenty of time to get some points and score a couple of tries. We go over again through Brian Toto. He ends up with a hat trick. And when Toto scored, I was like, here we go. But again, goal kicking from Lomax wasn't the greatest. I actually kind of feel sorry for Lomax because everyone's bashing him on social media. Listen, when it's wet weather footy, goal kicking from the sideline can be difficult. It can be hard. It's not easy. And they're playing on a stadium that they're not really too familiar with. So we get back to 26 to 24. Obviously, Toto went in for his hat trick. And then 26-18, I should say. And then obviously Angus Crichton went in for a try, which was fantastic. 26-24 is the scoreline. And New South Wales had a chance. Now, I'm not going to blame this decision for costing us the game, but when there was about 4 minutes to go, 3 or 4 minutes to go, we were in position for a 2-point field goal, which I thought we were going to go for it. I thought Latrell Mitchell, I thought Zach Lomax, I thought Nathan Cleary, or even though he had a busted leg, I thought someone was going to have a crack. Latrell and Lomax were the two guys I was looking at. I thought they were going to go for a 2-point field goal and get it to 26-all. Instead, Luai puts up a bomb, which leads to a Kalen Ponga knock on, which is a good result for us. And then Queensland obviously give away a few six agains, and Cleary throws a pass to Payne Haas. I think it was a forward pass, but he dropped the ball anyway, so it didn't really matter. But as good as the Luai kick was, which led to the Ponga error, it's so hard to score a try when you're 10 meters out on the attack because the defense just knows how to slow it down and get under your skin, and there isn't a lot of space for the attacking team. So that's why I would have much preferred the 2-point field goal option from Latrell Mitchell or Zach Lomax, but I guess Luai and Cleary probably thought it'd be better to go for the bomb. I don't know if it was a halves decision or if it was a coach's decision. I'm not exactly sure, but I thought a 2-point field goal was going to come into play. So we ended up dropping the ball, and then obviously Cleary to Payne Haas, the knock on there, which was just a killer. It really was. And yeah, disappointing, man. Disappointing. We when there was about 30 seconds to go, must have put that grubber kick in, and Edwards ran the ball back. We were 60 meters away. I was like, we just take one or two quick hit ups. Latrell can have a snap from 50 out. We saw what he did at the Core Stadium against the Broncos earlier this year. That 2-point field goal from 52 meters out, or however far it was. So we got guys that can kick them. I just don't know why we didn't go for it. It must be a coaching or a halves thing. I'm not exactly sure, but I was a little bit surprised that there wasn't a 2-point field goal attempt. But Queensland end up hanging on. And you know what the funny thing is? New South Wales scored more tries than Queensland. We scored 5 tries. Queensland scored 4. And Queensland ended up winning the game by 2 points. I guess the biggest problem for New South Wales was goal kicking was terrible. Our first half was way off the mark, to be honest, way off the mark. And Queensland ended up hanging on, and they obviously leveled the series at 1-1. And now we head to a Core Stadium in a couple of weeks, July 9th. It's going to be a big one, man. It'll probably be a sellout, 83,000 people. I'd love to go. I might even try and get down there for that. I've got to have a look at the schedule. Might be hard to get down there, but I'd like to go. But obviously, Game 3 is going to be off its head. It's going to be crazy. But, yeah, Queensland hold on, and they get the win. They were pretty lucky, in my opinion, Queensland. I think they were very lucky to hold on. It was a game of 2 halves. Queensland had a great first half, and they had a bad second half. New South Wales had a bad first half, but a great second half. So pretty chaotic how it all ended up. But what a game! What a game! I want to have a look at the completion rates and stuff because I got no idea. I know there was a few errors due to the rain and stuff, but so 36 missed tackles from New South Wales, 32 from Queensland. That's pretty nuts for Origin. That's a lot of missed tackles. Harry Grant had the most tackles. He had 55. Payne Haas had 35. Toto had the most run meters at 232. Munster had 131. And yeah. All right. Let's get to some player ratings, man. Player ratings. Now, this is where it gets difficult, man, because obviously everyone's going to have their own opinion. So before we get to the player ratings, if you guys in the chat want to interact with this, I'm keen to hear everyone's opinion and everyone's feedback. All you have to do is write the player's name, to just write their last name in the live chat and put a number next to them. That way I know who you're rating, because if I get, 3 or 4 guys in and you just put a number, I'm not going to have a clue who you're talking about. So if you want to get involved in the live chat, just write the player's last name and the rating next to them, so I know who you're referring to. But all right, player ratings. We'll start with New South Wales because they lost. And all right, Dylan Edwards. Dylan Edwards, for me, had a very mixed game. Didn't have a great game. I'm going to give Dylan Edwards a 5 out of 10. I wasn't that impressed with Edwards, so I'll give Edwards a 5 out of 10, guys. Brian Toto on the wing. Brian Toto, for me, was probably our best player. He was outstanding. So Toto, for me, is getting a 9 out of 10. Thought Toto was fantastic for New South Wales. The other winger, Zach Lomax, had some good moments. Obviously, goal kicking was a letdown for Lomax, but I don't think he was terrible. He did not concede a try to his winger either, which was good. So I'll give Lomax a 5.5 out of 10. He was okay. The centers, Stephen Crichton, for me, 6 out of 10. I thought Critter was pretty good. got involved. Obviously could have done more, but I thought Critter was pretty decent. 6 out of 10 for Crichton. Latrell Mitchell. Now, he did have 2 try assists for Toto, but all of them were tap ons. It was pretty quiet, Latrell. I'm going to give Latrell a 5. That might be a bit harsh, but Latrell didn't have a great game, and he was pretty quiet for the most part. He had some good moments, but 5 out of 10 for Latrell. Now, the halves. I thought both halves were terrible, I'll be honest. I thought Luai and Cleary were both shit. I was disappointed with Luai. I thought he played terrible. I thought Cleary was non-existent. And even in game 1, when New South Wales won 18-6, Cleary wasn't great in that game as well. We talk about Cleary being this, next immortal in the future. Everyone's talking about Cleary being an all-time great. Well, everyone says he needs to dominate an Origin series. Well, he's had 2 Origin games here now, and he's been very average in both of them. So, for me, Luai gets a 4 out of 10, and Cleary gets a 4 out of 10. They were both terrible. They both were terrible. Max King in the front row. Look, man, I know it's his second Origin, and I know he's a good young forward, but he was average as. Max King, 4.5 out of 10. He did not play well. Payne Haas, again, a bit like Brian To'o, one of our best players. Payne Haas is getting an 8 out of 10. He was great. Payne was outstanding for us. Hooker, Reece Robson. Robson does a good job in defense, but there's no attack. He's there for defense. Robson was probably a 5 out of 10. Didn't do a whole lot. So 5 out of 10 for Robson. The back row, Liam Martin and Angus Crichton. Now, Liam Martin was physical and he had some good moments, but his problem was discipline, and he gave away a few penalties, and he was just, I think he was too angry. I don't know what it was. So Liam Martin, 5 out of 10. As for Angus Crichton, I thought Angus was very good. I'm going to give Angus Crichton a 7 out of 10. Thought he played a really good game. The lock, Isaiah Yeo, the captain. There were times in the game where I thought Yeo was quiet, and there were times in the game where I thought he was solid. I'm going to give Yeo a 7. I thought overall he had a good game, and I think he was better than a lot of other players. So I'll give Yeo a 7 out of 10. Now we get to the bench. Connor Watson, he played 20 minutes, but he came on and Connor Watson added a bit of spark. He added a bit of energy to the Blues when we needed it. So Watson's getting a 5.5. Thought he had some good moments when he came on the field. Spencer Leniu, very quiet game. He did not play well, Spencer, and I think he'll admit to himself he didn't play well. So 5 out of 10 for Spencer. Pretty average game. I expected more from Spencer. Hudson Young. Hudson Young came on the field and brought a bit of mongrel, a bit of energy about himself. I don't think Hudson was terrible. I'm going to give Hudson Young a 6 out of 10. A 6 for Hudson Young. Came on, did a pretty good job in my opinion. And Stefano. Stefano was poor. And I'm a Stefano fan. I like his work. I like what he's all about. But, yeah, he didn't play well here. Stefano did not have a great game. 4 out of 10 for Stefano. That's just, that's my opinion. They're my ratings for New South Wales. Now, let's get on to Queensland. Queensland's player ratings. Right. Again, Queensland, obviously they won and they were very good, but there were a few players that definitely did not play to their best. So let's just get to it now. Kalen Ponga at fullback. Probably a 5. 5 out of 10 for Ponga. Dropped a few bombs. Wasn't really in the game as much as the other spine players. Wasn't awful, but 5 out of 10 for Kalen. Xavier Coates, again, didn't do a whole lot. His kick returns weren't fantastic, and Forney was pretty quiet. Xavier Coates is getting a 5 out of 10 for me. The other winger, the Hammer. Now, the Hammer had a great first half. He had 2 tries and he was strong as, but Brian Toto scored 3 tries on the Hammer. And he also had that bad knock on with, 10 to go. I don't think Hammer was outstanding. I think Hammer was pretty average. I'm going to give Hammer a 5. That might be a bit harsh, but Hammer's getting a 5 from me. The centres, Robert Toya and Val Holmes. Robert Toya was okay. I think he played better than Coates and Hammer, so I'll give him a 5.5, Robert Toya. I thought he defended well against Latrell, but again, not the greatest game in the world from Robert Toya. 5.5 in my opinion. The other centre, Val Holmes. Thought Val was solid. Thought he played better than all the backs, if I'm being completely honest. I'll give Val a 6. 6 out of 10 for Valentine Holmes. Now we get to the halves, and this is where they killed us, really. Munster, out of this world. 9 out of 10 for Munster. Munster had a great game. He was incredible, man. He was incredible. Munster, 9 out of 10 in my opinion. Tom Dearden at halfback. Everyone questioned it. Everyone was concerned about it, but he was outstanding, Tom Dearden. He really was. I'm going to give Dearden an 8 out of 10. He had a great game, Dearden. Him and Munster together was just dangerous. So, a lot of points there from Queensland. Dearden and Munster, very good. Dearden's an 8 for me. Mo Fodawaker in the front row. Forney, he only played about 25 minutes, but Forney had some really good carries and worked pretty hard. So, Fodawaker for me, he's going to get a 5.5. Forney was good, man. The other front row at Tino. Now, Tino, look, he doesn't stand out on stats or anything, but I thought he was strong for Queensland, and he definitely got under the skin of New South Wales. So, for me, Tino is getting a 7. He was great, man. Tino had a great game. The hooker, Harry Grant, again, a bit like Munster and Dearden. Harry Grant was incredible, man. So I'm going to give Harry Grant an 8.5 out of 10. He had a fantastic game, man. Caused so many problems. Was an absolute nightmare. So Harry Grant, 8.5 out of 10. The back row, Cotter and Capewell. And these two were very good. Cotter, he may not have done much in attack, but he ran some good lines, defended really well once again. Cotter was good. 6.5 for Cotter. He had a strong game in the back row. Kurt Capewell, again, another one that I questioned going into it. I wasn't sure about Kurt Capewell, but he surprised the crap out of me. 7.5 for Kurt Capewell. He had a great game, man. Well done to Kurt Capewell. He had a solid game. Trent Liero. Now, Trent Liero had a good start to the game. Went off for a HIA. Then he came back. Thought he was solid, to be honest. I'm going to give Liero a 6 out of 10. He actually surprised me, man. So, Liero, for me, was a 6. Now, we get to the bench. Kurt Mann come on and played a bit of lock forward and just played a little bit all over the place. He was good, man. Kurt Mann brought a lot of energy to the Queensland team off the bench. So, for me, Kurt Mann gets a solid 6 out of 10. He was strong. Another guy that gets a 6 out of 10 for me was Lindsay Collins. Lindsay Collins off the bench was outstanding. Forney was great, man. 6 out of 10 for Lindsay Collins. Jeremiah Nanai. Now, Nanai only played about 15, 20 minutes, I think, and he didn't really have much involvement in the game. So I'm going to give Nanai a 4. 4 out of 10 for Jeremiah Nanai. Obviously, I'd like to rank him higher because I'm a big fan of Nanai, but didn't play many minutes and just didn't get much of a chance, really, which I found strange. And Carrigan off the bench, thought he was good. 6 out of 10 for Carrigan. So, based off all that, guys, my top 3 players from the game, or you know what, I'll go top 5. My top 5 players from the game. So I'm going to go. Actually, I'll give you 3. I'll give you 3. So we'll go We'll go Harry Grant, number 3. We'll go Brian To'o, number 2. And we'll go Munster, number 1. And we'll give an honourable mention to Tom Dearden, Kurt Capewell, Payne Haas, and Angus Crichton. Honourable mentions to those guys. But Queensland win, and it's now 1-1, and we have a decider at a Core Stadium in a couple of weeks, July 9th, at a Core Stadium. It's going to be a big one, man. But, guys, that's my review to Origin 2. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate the live chat and everyone else that tuned in. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.